is Kim White with the My Sexy Business team. I am here today to do something so exciting I can't hardly stand it. And that's to introduce someone to the world that I've been watching blossom over the last several years. And this huge announcement today this is the introduction episode number 1 of Kick Butt Leadership Podcast with the famous Connie Myers of Crystalline Moments and Kick Butt Leadership. She has created so many things, I don't even know where to start. She's a best-selling author. She speaks internationally. She has been doing retreats internationally, and she's amazing. She's a great leader herself, and she helps others become great leaders also. Miss Connie Myers, thank you for blessing me with getting to introduce you to the world.
Oh, Kim, I wouldn't have asked for anybody else. And thank you for that wonderful introduction. That was very sweet of you. Thank you.
Well, I'm super proud of you, and I know the backstory. So I want everyone else to understand that you have created something so amazing, and now you're going on to have a podcast about leadership that will just be a huge influence to so many people's lives.
Sorry about the helicopter. It's right overhead.
Hey, we'll celebrate whatever. Helicopter, balloons, confetti, whatever. Well, tell me this. Why did you start your podcast?
Well, I really feel like I want to let the world know that there's very simple tools and techniques that you can use to level up your leadership ability that don't require additional time. They don't cost money. There are things you can do for yourself. And I've been doing interviews now for about 1.5 years with great leaders, and I wanted to start sharing them with the world through a podcast.
So exciting. So exciting. Well, why now? Like you said, you've been doing this for a while. Why now is now the perfect time?
I believe now because the Kick Butt Leadership course is up and running. My retreats are taking off, and we're at a point where I believe first of all, we've got the kinks ironed out. That's number 1. But also, I have an incredible opportunity to reach a lot of people that are already leaders that just want to make their leadership, I call it the 3 E's. Empowering, engaging, and enduring. And that really makes an influential leader. So being able to show people how to do that. And right now, to me, I'm getting ready to jumpstart a whole bunch of stuff in 2019 that I can use the podcast to be able to jumpstart that and let people know about it. We have some very exciting new courses and things coming out, and some affiliations that are just phenomenal. So I felt like right now was the perfect time before we get into the holidays and be able to really start connecting with people. So when we make these announcements, they'll be on board with us.
So who is the podcast for?
It is really designed for people that are in some position of leadership. That's not to say that if maybe you're just heading into leadership, it isn't also really great for you. But it really is designed for people that are in a point of leadership already, and maybe they just want to go to the next level. Maybe they want to set up their own company. Maybe they're a leader as a manager or something like that in a different company. So it's really designed for people that want to really make sure that as they level up in their leadership, that they have all the right tools and techniques that you need today in this time. Because the research has shown that these tools and techniques that we talk about are absolutely a must-have to be a great leader today.
Well, what's in it for your listeners? Like, what will they get out of it?
They will get all kinds of tools, techniques, things they can use. They can start using the minute they quit listening to the podcast. they can start implementing them into their leadership and into their lives, really, because let's face it, we're all the leaders of our own lives, and we're the leaders. We all have families and friends. We play a leadership role is there as well, but it's really how to really be a great leader so that you have people following you that also become great leaders.
And I love that. Leadership is about creating leaders, not followers.
Exactly.
So when can people expect new episodes?
My plan is to do a podcast weekly, and so probably they will be released and up and running by the Monday of each week. I will be doing them live on Saturdays, and then usually in the morning around 10 o'clock Pacific time. And then by the time they get uploaded onto iTunes and everything, it'll probably be Monday before they'll be available.
That's awesome. Well, and I want to say you have interviewed like really high level leaders. You have interviewed them and they give their tricks and tips and techniques of their own. They share how they got to where they are in your interviews. And you will have like lots of interviews on this podcast, right?
Oh my gosh. Yes. I actually this weekend I went back and started looking at some of the interviews I've done. And you're right. I have people that have been national presidents of organizations, at large organizations. And I have people that are in, like one woman is the Dr. Bernice Ledbetter is the director for the Institute for Women in Leadership at Pepperdine University. I have very high level people that I have interviewed, but I also have interviews with people that are owning their own businesses. So, and have been successful at it. So we talk about how they did that. What kind of leadership skills did they use to get themselves into that position? So it's kind of a cross mix. I do that on purpose to be able to talk to people that maybe want to start their own business, or maybe they're in their own business and they want to take it to the next level. But also, if you are in a mid-level management position and you want to become the CEO, or at some higher level, a C-level position, how you can go about doing that. And I can tell you that there are amazing tips and information that all of these leaders share. I think that's what I love the most, is how open they are in sharing what they do and how they do it to help make everybody even a better leader.
Well, and I want to point that out too, since I have had the privilege of auditing your course and, being a part of your journey and watching all of this develop. I want to point out, this is not leadership as in, selfish, cutthroat, being ugly to each other kind of leadership. This is the kind of leadership that lasts because it's generous and transparent. And you have surrounded yourself with so many like amazing, influential people that's who's going to be on the podcast. I mean, you have a conference, you have books, you have all of these things, your retreats, you have all of these things going, and yet you still are going to be able to reach the podcast market so that they can, while they're driving to work, get that podcast and listen. So I really encourage everybody who's listening to, follow this podcast, because you will be amazed at who all will be on it.
I really, and I think that's a really important point you just made. I mean, true leadership is about serving. It's not the dictator, top-down type of leadership that was maybe of the years gone by. To be a true leader, you are serving. And you end up serving more and more. The higher up you go, the more selfless you have to be a great leader. And the people that I've interviewed are true, genuine examples of that type of leadership and what the benefits are for being that way. So they are the kind of leaders that introduce new leaders to the world, that make the world a better place. And so I think that's really an important point that you mentioned.
Well, I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to subscribe as soon as it starts and follow your journey some more, because I feel like I am a blessed princess for having a front row seat in all this awesome sauce you have created.
Well, Kim, I want to thank you because you've been a very important part of this journey and this ride. And I love that I've been able to share that with you. And I really, I encourage everyone to please, as soon as it's up and available, you can find Kick Butt Leadership and subscribe to it. Also, as a way of kickstarting the Kick Butt Leadership podcast, I have a free gift I would like to offer it to everyone. I'll be posting the website, but it's called kickbuttleadership.com is the website. And when you go there, there is a program I put together that's totally free, and it's called the 7 Simple Daily Practices. And you can download that and you can start practicing some of the things I talk about in the podcast and my class by going there. So I'm very excited about having you all join and subscribe. And I'm so excited about this podcast. This is literally something I've been talking about doing now for a couple of years. And finally, we're there. So, Kim, I want to thank you for a wonderful introduction, and thank you for being my big supporter and sometimes my big pusher. We all need pushers in our lives. And you're the perfect person to have introduced me to the world. So thank you.
Well, I love you dearly, and thank you for the honor.
All right. Well, this is the end of the first podcast called Kick Butt Leadership, and I'm Connie Myers, and this is Kim White, and I look forward to having you all back.